are going to be going into the draft. Medyo, syempre, our players, they're ticklish. They want to go for the fights. And let's go. This is going to be, of course, a 5-ban system na guys. Matagal na tayo dyan, so you know what's up.
That's right. As you can see, a lot of the names on this list, very mainstay names already. We have, of course, Marky, one of the known AD carries as well for Manila Eagles before, who have, of course, transitioned as well to IPT and Shadow, Hate, Light. These are names that you know and love from the PGS before, which, of course, is now transitioning over into a new format as well.
Yeah.
On the other side, though, we have a bit of a shuffle around for TNC. As we do have like Demon subbing in for Burst, who was AD carry like previously. And of course, otherwise everyone stays the same. So right now on the bans, man, look at that. Yasuo bans at this stage of the game, as well as that lovely Eagle, Anivia.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
Okay, so kahit man nagkaroon na tayo ng changes sa meta ngayon, I think teams are still relying back on the previous patch. Hindi naman ganun katindi yung... It's not gonna be too much change with the picks, pick-wise. I think much of the mid lane picks would be going for champions that have good control on the mid, wave clear as well. Anivia does get that in her department, and Yasuo I think is just a really good counter in those against those type of champions.
That's right. Yasuo really big on the international scene as well. As you can have seen previously. I'm sure a lot of our league fans out there. By the way, hi guys, we are live on twitch.tv/MineskiTV2. A lot of you guys might have seen MSI where Yasuo has been brought out to multiple positions. I think that's probably one of the reasons. As well as Skarner, Vladimir, big picks. I'm actually quite surprised. There are quite few viable jungle picks that have changed, that have been surfacing on 8.9. Hopefully that changes with 8.10.
Yeah.
With the recent, I would say, buff to jungle mage items. So what have you? I'm sure you've read this. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, any possible jungle champions that we might see today?
Well, jungle champions that we might see today are champions that kind of gravitate towards level 2 spikes, wherein basically if they get level 2, they're already a formidable opponent,
right,
such as Xin Zhao, Irelia at one point. You can actually even go top lane with this one.
That's right.
Yeah, you can go for Graves, Trundle as well as Olaf. Those are some really nice picks, and we'll just have to see. On the other hand,
oh, look at that.
yeah,
man.
exactly. I was about to say something like this. ADC wise, we have seen quite a spike of going for first ADC rotation, just so that you can get the prime pick. Like if you're gonna go and look for beef, you know, you want to go for the best beef, first pick of the prize. Anyways, IPT will be going for the Kaisa, which is definitely a strong hero, a strong champion as of now. Not really sure how this is gonna pan out, since I think like during this patch it feels like she's kind of like dropped down on her first item spike, which is against his Rage Blade, but once she gets level 3 items, that's when she hits like a total trump.
That's right. And of course all of these have happened like just recently, like 8.9 I think, where she received a major nerf.
Yeah.
Otherwise Kaisa is still super strong internationally as well, and right now our teams do recognize na talagang may kapangyarihan tong si Kaisa na hindi mo makakaila. On the other side though, Ezreal as an AD carry counter to Kaisa, that's actually still quite high up on the pick, second pick rotation. So I'm not sure if that would be counted as a counter, but they have paired it up with a Karma, which is quite big. You can expect a lot of action on that bot lane. I think they tried to counter that as well. Against Morgana, they're trying to get the shields out as fast as possible using that Karma. So looking good so far for IPT as well with that Ornn pick though. High priority top lane champ.
Yeah, already both of these teams really going for the champions that have the most, let's say, success over other pro scenes.
That's
Having
right.
the Ornn as well, I think he has a 93% like let's say pick or ban during
That's
MSI,
true.
so that's gonna be something really that they can capitalize on. And look at this, I think Hate rather will be getting that Graves in the jungle, while TNC, I thought they were gonna go for maybe the Jarvan, but go for the Zac. I mean, he has seen some buffs on his ability powers as well, so
That's
we
right.
might see more damage come out from the, I forgot his tagline. The ultimate experiment, the macho experiment.
That's
I
right.
will come back to that, guys.
Yeah, the experiment of Zon or something like that.
Yeah.
So yun, nangyari ngayon, a lot of the power picks have been taken out by IPT on the jungle, on the bot lane. I would expect some sort of counter maybe to the to the jungle. I'm not sure who they're gonna pick. Sorry, not the jungle already. There you go already. So Zac is gonna be on the top lane. Sorry, Sion's gonna be on the top lane. Super. Actually, if you notice their picks on the other side, there's a lot of damage potential already. Not so much survivability. Relying solely on the Zac for their tanks. Although we did see a lot of buffs on damage Zac, not so much on tank Zac though. Of course, LeBlanc super strong as well. Let's see. I mean, this is gonna be an interesting matchup in the mid lane because instead of having a top lane, a mid lane Ornmar, they're gonna put a Sion against a LeBlanc, man. Wow, I've not seen that in a while now.
This actually could be a really bad matchup for Hayes on that LeBlanc, just because Sion does have so much tanking ability. He should be able to deal with the damage, especially early on. And then if you actually maximize Roar of the Slayer, I mean, I think there was a change with the Sion.
Yeah, if you let it go sa parang dulong-dulo, mas advantage ka. Parang mas mataas yung damage output. So, we'll have to see how will these teams play it out. Again, this is one of the first ever broadcast for Mineski TV League. I'm super excited, man. It has been a long time coming, and here we go. On to the riff for the first side for Mineski. This is going to be IPT versus TNC.
All right, let's give a quick rundown of our champions, our players. So for TNC Pro Team, we got Icarus on the top lane with the Irelia. Jungle is going to be Burst on the Zac. Mid, Hayes with the LeBlanc. Demon on that Ezreal ADC, and his support will be Orthros with the Karma.
Of course, IPT, we have MJ on the top lane. Hate for jungle. Light is going to take mid. Marky is on AD carry with Shadow supporting him very closely. This is looking like a really safe start here for TNC. So far, I like what they're doing, and I like that they're... I'm actually a bit surprised that no one... Like, I think they're expecting some sort of invade here from TNC, but from IPT, but actually that's going to be no banana. So they're going to have to spend a lot more time getting onto the lanes. 5-man whole scouting here for IPT though, so we're going to see a lot less action maybe later. Because again, both of these teams actually, they scaled quite heavily. So I think both teams are actually opting for a lot of safety in the start of the game. So right now on the mid lane though, this Sion, we're gonna have to see because I'm not super confident about the Sion pick, but I like your confidence on the Sion pick against the LeBlanc. We'll have to see. Again, this is LeBlanc that has been reverted, and this is gonna be so much fun. Right now on the bot lane though,
bot lane is gonna be a 2v2, and it seems like they're actually pretty fair. Ooh, Sion in the mid, Light taking quite a bit of damage. We do know that Light is one of those really good mid laners from way back. I think he's been an IPT, and before that, War Gods.
That's right.
And he has been considered as one of the best mid laners and players in the PH as well. His mechanics still on point. And also one thing that I kind of remembered is that he loves his Anivia. He's basically like, some sort of like the PH Froggen, you know?
That's right. So again, TNC did recognize that on first rotation. They didn't want any flashy plays coming on. So right now on the bot lane though, speaking of flashy, look at that Dark Binding right on point with follow-up from Kai'Sa. That's a very strong combo, and we're gonna expect to see a lot of that as this game progresses.
So I was actually thinking that Hayes might actually have a difficult time in the mid, but it seems like he's been spacing himself quite well against Light here, just going for the combos, and Light just going in for a Q smashes, just looking to actually shove the wave in the mid quite quickly. So he might actually just go immediately back into base.
Yeah,
get a defensive item and then just come back into lane.
Yeah, for Light, I actually like what he's doing. He does have that Corrupting Potion. So guys, if you don't know what Corrupting Potion does, it does heal you up quite a lot. Right now in the mid lane, Hayes is going very aggressive. He wants all those Corrupting Potion procs out of the way.
Out of the way, indeed. Junglers now will have to actually put more emphasis on taking the scuttler control. We didn't talk about this too much as the broadcast started, but 8.10 basically is going to be the taunty game. Who gets the scuttler? When, how do you call this? Like the crusty crab, you got
the crusty crab,
the Krabby
man.
Patty in the river. You gotta focus on that because it gives so much gold right now, so much XP, and it kind of also scales up as the game progresses. Definitely going to be something that you want to go for. So yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta do a plankton a lot on these on these crabs, man. On these crusty crab patties right now. A big fat gold lead is definitely gonna be in order sometime soon. But right now, both teams super even at 5.9 to 6K. I don't see any of them trying to go for really aggressive starts. Right now in the mid lane, IPT looks like they're giving a lot of pressure as well.
Pressure indeed. This Zac is gonna be starting to go for his blue. Graves might, or rather Hate might actually want to contest for that, but it seems like he's just gonna go for the Scuttler. What's actually kind of a nice trivia here for guys who don't really play Graves as much is that Graves' passive, you know, the push with the buckshot, can actually proc the Scuttler's debuff. Because whenever you get a CC on the Scuttler, from let's say 60 armor, it goes down to 10, making it easier for you to actually last hit that thing, or
to take it down.
Wheel it down, exactly, take it down. So Graves can do that with his passive, and it's going to be really, really good. Anyways, Demon is having a really difficult time here, as that Morgana is kind of getting the better of the Karma, although Karma, they just go over the river to go for a quick ward.
You look at that right now, Ikaros is going hard onto MJ, despite being outplayed initially. Ikaros takes first blood.
Ooh, taking that first blood, definitely not something you want against an Irelia. I mean, she has been changed, man, but it still bodes true. Better nerf Irelia.
Yeah, essentially Irelia. A lot of them changed, a lot of visuals have changed on Irelia, but still, like the super old-fashioned hard carry Irelia, if you feed him, man, IVT has to watch out for that, man. And right now, though, I think they're not doing super aggressive rotations, except for going for a really strong Skull Crab take. They're committing 3 people. In the mid lane, though, Light not having the best time right now. Almost half of the farm of Haze. Look at that. A bit more difficult time here for Light. But, again, Haze still has a long way to go before he can really call the mid lane dominated.
Oh, it's because Light has been focusing more on his, let's say, Scion Smash, the Q.
Right.
Rather than going for Roar of the Slayer. Because I'm thinking like if he has more points on that, he could actually give more harassment against the LeBlanc here. But I think he's just trying to combo it up with the Ornn.
Yep.
In the top later on once he hits that level 6. Anyways, gank in mid.
Look at that. Mid lane. Haze gets tried to get taken down by 3 members. Light a bit late on that ultimate right now. Haze, he's staying.
Shield.
Oh my god, he's beating the rest of the team now, and right now TNC is going for the chase. They take down that Scion, and right now not looking really good here for IPT. That failed gank, and TNC with the quick responses, they're still going for it.
Berserker's Rage, and Ikaros is just going flying ham through the backline, and he gets the 1. 2 kills right off the bat for TNC. And well, I was talking about how IPT were kind of like, I guess, comboing the Ornn and the Scion, but the first trial that they did was
a bit botched, right?
Yeah, a bit botched, and they paid the ultimate price for that. I mean, it's a LeBlanc. It's very slippery. You got yourselves, what, basically 2 dashes once you have your ultimate as well?
Yeah.
Very difficult to catch her.
Alam mo, Asaray, parang feeling ko na bait sila. Akala nila Shadow kasi nakatayo lang eh, tapos tumatakbo yung illusion. That was very smart play there from Haze. I actually like what he did there.
Yeah.
And again, that baited the rest of IPT to go for the not focus on him too much. Therefore, allowing him to live right now on the top lane. Ikaros not showing any signs of slowing down. Pinaproxy pa yung top just to do a bit more damage to the tower, to try to do a bit more damage. And again, open up the top lane for more ganks. Again, a lot of gold going here for IPT. Almost more than almost 2K gold advantage at 7 or 8 minutes. So that's really, really good. At the bottom lane, they're holding steady both teams. But again, do we really want that to happen? Like, if medyo pag nagpantay sila, who do you think has the advantage on the bot lane though? Ezreal or Kaisaya? Sorry. Kaisa. Sorry.
Okay, it's all good, man. It's all good. Oh, check this out. Demon is gonna be getting his red much earlier, and Zac is just gonna be a total bro. Anyways, there's gonna be a tussle, possibly in the red side jungle of IPT, but well, they were a little bit too far from that. Anyways, I think it's gonna be more on the side of the Ezreal, even though it has been kind of fair for now. Again, Kaisa is not on the best position in the early game, but we'll see. Marky can really pull out the stops here, so you might see some shenanigans coming out from him. But I guess item-wise as well, it should be the easy that can do this, but we didn't see. Also, just a extra thing here, we didn't see Demon go for that easy TP build that we were talking about ever so much that was introduced during MSI. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But of course, I think Demon is not really... I like that. They're trying to make their own meta, some sort of. This Ezreal build is actually quite high on damage as well. Stacking up early call. Look at that 81 procs on the call. It's actually, sorry, not super early, but super late rather. On the top lane though, Burst is along with Icarus and Orphos trying to take out that top tower. There's really not much that the lone MJ can do to defend against that. Meanwhile, IPT, they go for the trade. They go for the Ocean Drake instead.
Ocean Drake, not really the one that you want to start off, especially if you need more
damage.
Hustle in your bustle.
Yeah.
Not sure what that means, but it just means that, yeah, damage, exactly. So they kind of wanted an Infernal Drake for that. But I think in like trade terms,
yeah,
one tier 1 turret for a dragon is all good in the hood. Burst, though, will actually be jumping into the mid, hoping to get a catch off on that Scion, but he's just going to be okay, fine and dandy.
A bit aggressive play there from Burst. Trying to bump them on the towers. That's how you actually didn't know you could do that. That's actually something new for me. Meanwhile, Light is just trying to survive on the mid lane. Haze is gonna be close by with Orphos. No banana right there. But again, this is just IPT trying to be a bit more safer as well as TNC. Both teams really don't want anything too aggressive to happen unless they look like they're in a good position. And I think medyo naintindihan ko naman sila. This is a lot of money on the line. Like, they really want to get on their power spikes before anything big goes on. But right now, whoa!
Not enough damage.
Super close, though.
And what I kind of don't like about this one is Hate actually is forced to go for Berserker Greaves. I'm not sure if this is like the norm right now for a Graves to start off rather than going for your first jungle item or his enchantment.
Right.
Get more damage. But this just gives him a little bit more mobility and attack speed to get that buckshot out. Although what this kind of sacrifices is that you don't get CDR to get faster cooldown on your skills. Obviously, you get less AD, and that means very little damage output. And this is just like IPT playing on a much more defensive scale, which is very, I don't know, from what I've seen way back from them, unlikely. But TNC, rotation-wise, really good. They got themselves a tier 1, even though the dragon was out. Taken by IPT, they got the kills, they got the objectives.
Yeah, I think they had a better advantage there on the tower trade, trade for the dragon. And I think IPT for that Graves though, I think he's trying to prioritize a lot more mobility because I think they recognize yung lineup nila medyo bulky, kumbaga, like with the Ornn, with the Scion, they need a lot of vuelo. And I think Graves is just trying to do a lot, trying to move a lot faster. But right now, I think TNC does have a better tempo on the game. Not just hero champion-wise, but I think a lot of this also steams into their core beliefs. I think the way TNC plays is a bit higher pace compared to what I see from other teams, and I think it's going well for them so far.
The thing I'm super curious about is how will this Scion pan out? This is going to be a Scion build, I think, that focuses more on being like a supportive AoE just so that you give the Kai'Sa more damage. And again, with this type of like put your eggs in the Kai'Sa's basket type of playstyle, this is just going to mean that they have to put everything on the Kai'Sa to get her the farm that she needs and even the kills. But now, again, going back onto that first try when they got the Ornn ultimate out and the Scion ultimate in the mid, they didn't get the kills. It feels like IPT, again, immediately stopped the pressure and are just going for a much more controlled play style here.
Yeah, and I think as pag pinatagal ng IPT, I think mas lamang sila. But right now on the top, Haze does recognize that, forces the Scion ultimate out. And again, that's going to be safety priority for IPT, not trying to do any damage or trying to send anyone up top.
Yeah.
I think pag tumatagal, like I was saying, IPT does have a bit more advantage. Once Marky gets all those items, the core items built up, I think they have more advantage.
Yeah.
If I were TNC, I would fasten up the pace. I'm pretty sure they're trying. Sinusubukan talaga nilang pabilisin yung laro by trying to make more plays. But again, IPT super defensive. I love the plays. I love that they recognize their win condition.
Yeah.
And they're trying really hard to stick to it, man.
Definitely. But the biggest thing naman dito is that the way for IPT to actually play defensive is to use their ultimates mostly on Light to get away from this one.
Yes.
Light's ultimate is on a fairly long cooldown naman, so he's got to be careful that when he actually goes back overextending, because right now there's no top tier 1 turret, he has to play really defensively. Look at that. He's not over pushing. He knows he doesn't have his ultimate. And what this kind of does is that this allows TNC to put much more control on the jungle of IPT. You saw IPT had some really good defensive wards sa simula ng, or at least at this point of the stage of the game.
Yep.
But because of how Light was pushed out, you immediately saw that they started to go for control. But IPT at least saw that happening and tried to get back as well. They got some wards out. And yeah, but still, control of this game definitely in the hands of TNC.
Yeah, I think IVD, they kind of want to slow it down more because of that. But again, like we were mentioning, win conditions for TNC is up to like faster gameplay. I think what you mentioned about Sion's ultimate is if Sion makes a mistake on that, it's pretty big. It's gonna give an opening for TNC to put pressure on other members of IPT once they see the Sion just use the ultimate as in a wrong manner. So right now, this is gonna be IPT. We're gonna have to look for IPT. How do they use the Ornn ultimate? How do they use this Sion ultimate? And will it have any effect? If that doesn't happen, it's gonna mean a bad time for the rest of IPT, and they're gonna have to wait for the cooldown again to try to make a big play.
I'm kind of curious which dragon is going to come out here. If that's going to be like a mountain or infernal, definitely going to be something that you want to try out. Shadow wanting to go for a little bit of control there, immediately got caught off. And this is what the power of that Zac brings to the table. I mean, he can basically leap over walls. So freaking rangy.
That's right. And that was Shadow.
Long range, yeah.
That was Shadow with a Morgana who had the black shield.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Despite having the black shield, he still got CC'd to high heavens. So right now, Mountain Drake, like you said, and I think they want to contest it. IPT is trying to get more gas into their pedal, but I think TNC has an answer.
Oh, again, Light with the defensive ultimate, and that's another ultimate for IPT for Engage not really being used here. No, if you think about it, IPT don't really have that pick-off type of skill, and this is making it very difficult for them to actually punish TNC as they clump up on that Dragon Pit. If they had something like, let's say, a Zac on their hands, he could have actually just leapt in, got a 2-man knock-up, and then they'll get blown up by the combination of Marky as well as Hate. They don't have the damage, but their skills put together can actually be still fearsome.
That's right. I think TNC medyo na-realize din nila yon na I think kapangyarihan talaga ng IPT is relying on the Ornn ultimate and the Sion ultimate to both land simultaneously. Ang malakas sila when they're 5-man, when they're a death ball, but I think TNC is forcing them to fight on separate locations in the map. And I think that's super, super smart for TNC. IPT definitely in a bind here with almost 5k deficit. Let's see what they can do. Like, again, for TNC, lumalakas yung Irelia nila. Lumalakas din yung AD carry nila in Demon. Demon super confident. Look at this, man. Like, he's just pushing up to Marky and the Shadow quite easily. And super confident sila with their play, with their power.
Yeah, and it shows ngayon Shadow is taking so much poke. That hurts to the next level. Icarus is pretty much uncontested, 189 CS, the highest all across the board. Siyempre meron siyang Tiamat and that Rift, or rather that Trinity Force in his pocket. And if you can see, Rift Herald was actually activated on the top side on that tier 2, but this is going to allow 3 members of TNC to just bombard the middle one. Grace is going to be here, but that might have been actually super scary.
Right on the top lane though, Icarus uses the ultimate, misses it against Light, but Light walang katakas-takas. Icarus super strong on that. I think si Light susubukan lang bawasan si Icarus, pero no way. Tower is gonna be down, more minions for me, more gold for TNC.
Man, that was super bad. You saw that Unstoppable, Unstoppable Onslaught was used by Light there to try to get out, but he actually booped.
Oh, let's bounce though.
Alright, let's bounce. Activated there. There's gonna be the TP. That's gonna give this Zac invulnerability as here comes Haze.
Man.
Out of nowhere. But
wow!
The one-hit delete. I mean, there's no defense item for Hate right now, so Haze can basically just go in and explode on that guy. I mean, look at that. He has Luden's Echo already in his pocket 18 minutes into the game.
Dude, that hurt me from afar. I mean, a lot of damage items for Hate. You kind of expect that with the Warrior Enchant as well as a Zeal onto Hate with just Ruby Crystal lang yung pang HP niya. So medyo expected yun, and I think medyo na-recognize ni Hayes na medyo malambot talaga yung Graves, and super confident nila just to go in, and they kind of realized that, oh, Morgana, wala kang Black Shield, anong gagawin nito? So again, a lot of emphasis on Morgana's Black Shield timing for TNC. As long as they recognize that, they should have a lot of openings here for IPT.
And here's the bad thing about having a Graves jungler. I mean, based from my experience.
Yeah.
Even though you deal so much damage, you get a lot of control, and you're really good for the skirmishes. If you don't actually start ramping up yourself and your team as the game goes, right, as the game progresses, this is what happens. The lack of items. I mean, Graves, I think, in order to be surviving, you need to at least have the Phantom Dancer ready, maybe even a Guardian Angel or a Moth Malmorius here, but that's not really what you want to happen. Ooh, Icarus was setting up something there. A little bit of the shenanigans, but yeah. And now Hate is on a very weird position wherein he has okay damage with the Warrior's Enchantment, but he doesn't have any survivability. So if he gets caught up by Icarus or Hayes, who both have some really insane damage, he's just gonna get deleted. You know,
I think
get deleted.
I think yung boots niya, yung Berserker Greaves niya, might as well be like a magic defense boot, maybe.
Yeah, Mercury Treads.
Mercury Treads.
Yeah, for sure.
That might be a better option. But again, this is Hate going for a faster, like all or nothing glass cannon build. And I think it's not paying off right now. But right now, look at that. Just so much confidence in TNC. Icarus nagnanakaw ng buff mag-isa. Ganun sila ka-confident sa power ni Icarus ngayon.
Yeah. No fear for TNC. They have total control of this game. And it all just goes down to how, I think, easy it is for them to have gotten everything in their hands. If you see their composition, it's very mobile. It's very open-ended in terms of the objectives that they need. And Hate is going to go almost down. Demon activating his easy ultimate just for that easy kill, and Unstoppable Force also actually activated also, but he dashes over the wall, and here it goes. Let's bounce into the embracing hands of TNC as they take him down one after the other. They get to one, and Icarus is not done yet having that ultimate, and he just bombards his opponent light and activates with the passive, but walang makakatakas dito as TNC claims 2 kills, tier 1, and maybe even a tier 2 in mid.
Grabe, sorry na nagugulan lang ako dito sa ginagawa ng TNC eh.
Man.
Alam mo yung dodge ni Demon, tas sabay bawi ni Burst with the Zac ultimate on 3 people. And oh my god, they dodged 2 ultimates first. And then they caught 2 people at the same time. That's just over the top here from TNC. And again, Morgana! That LeBlanc eliminated the Graves with super ease. Icarus getting chased down by MJ, looking like an easy kill, but he's not done yet. Icarus trying to dish and dash out, but no joy whatsoever. IBT gets a kill for that.
Yeah, no dice for that, but I mean, that was just a consolation prize to what TNC has done. And this all just goes back to how IBT kind of played this a bit too, I would say, shallow, not really shallow, sorry, tunnel focused.
Right.
You saw that they wanted to go for the Ezreal, and they wanted to have immense amount of CCs, but they lacked damage there. I think Marky wasn't even on that portion where they were collapsing on Demon on the Ezreal, right?
Yeah.
So even though there was like 3 bodies on him, let's say MJ, Hate, and Light, those are champions that don't really deal burst damage or can't really eliminate the easy fast. So Easy, even though he got CC'd, can still have a possibility to flash over the wall. He did, and 3 of them did not have good positioning at all. Zac bounces in, Easy lets bounce, plop them into the embracing hands of the other members of TNC, and that was all good to go for them.
Yeah, I think it's more of, like what you mentioned, I guess target priority as well.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of know that yung Ezreal may essence shift, arcane shift yan, ng mabilis. So, I guess good idea for IPT to try to go for the Ezreal, softest and most damage-centric champion. But right now, on the top, they catch Burst on that red buff, and they still get away with the steal.
I mean, people still gotta remember that Easy's build path is kind of one of the ones that allow an ADC to be, let's say, pseudo-tanky.
Right.
You can actually go for, I mean, again, an Iceborne Gauntlet, possibly, or a Trinity Force. And both of those items can either give you armor or HP. And this kind of gives Ezreal a little bit of that defense ability that allows him to survive these really weird type of collapses. Anyways, there's going to be the bombardment onto the Karma, but that is just a one-time, big-time here as Icarus just dives right into the middle of the fray. He gets the one. Demon on the Silence is now on a rampage as he just pokes out with the Qs, and he gets another double kill. And even Hayes joins in onto the fight because he says, you know what, I gotta get myself some kill, guys. And we get ourselves an almost ace as Hate is all the way on the top side. They see him on the map, and they are still hungry to get that kill.
Yeah, 4-man down for IPT. Well, I think they expended way too much resources taking down Orphos, and they didn't realize Demon was really close by. Right now, I think Hayes is getting hunted down by Hayes. Easy kill. That's the really, really delayed ace for TNC. Awesome play there, and now they get Baron for their efforts as well. Everything is looking like TNC favor right now.
Yeah. Gotta remember, guys, this is a best of 5, so we can actually draw this game out as much as possible for IPT. We have seen teams kind of have a slower, let's say, startup in these prolonged series, and it seems like IPT are looking to be that team, but we'll just see how they approach game number 2. There still is a possibility that they can win this if Marky can get his 3rd item and start shredding every single buddy. Plus, provided that IPT can protect him well enough. I mean, Ornn, Sion, Morgana. These are champions that I feel like can have really good protect if they can peel well enough against TNC, especially against Hayes and Icarus, who have been diving so heavily into the backline.
Yeah, alam mo, ideally, on paper, yung trio na yan sinabi mo, parang bodyguard ano yun eh.
Exactly.
Bodyguard dream. It's the dream. You have Magic Resist, you have CC, CC Shield, tapos you have 2 bodyguards, 2 super tanks on your front. I think they're just having a hard time getting into position. Marky, he does have that Rage Blade and he does have that Hurricane, but he's having a hard time applying it to anyone.
Yeah.
I think, sorry.
No, sorry. It's fine. So go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Marky has the power to do it. He's just having a hard time getting into the right position to do so.
Yeah, definitely. And this is all just because, again, not enough control to stop these backline divers. I mean, Ornn is great at controlling. I feel like he's great at controlling frontline engagements, but once you go for the backline, it kind of just, again, kind of dissipates on that.
Yeah.
Light seems like he wanted to actually start the fight there, but it's not gonna happen for him. I'm really not sure why he wanted to go for the Q first rather than the E. I know, again, 8.10 Roar of the Slayer has some changes, but it actually is good changes, wherein there's much more evened out damage distributed to multiple targets.
Right. And
not only the primary one.
That might have actually helped Light in the laning phase as well.
Yeah.
Dishing out a lot more damage to Hayes and maybe, you know, making him second guess the poke entrances that he's doing right now. Speaking of poke, Hayes is just flashing all the way up while Icarus on the top lane. Both towers get taken down almost at the same time. And this looks like inhibitors for TNC. Is this going to be bot and top inhibitor? Man, and now they transition into the mid very, very easily. Icarus super, super tanky. He takes out, he tries to just dish out a lot of defense. And this is looking like a game for TNC. There's very, very little that IPT can do at this point.
And he even has a Sterax gauge in his arsenal, plus a Frozen Heart. This guy is not going to get taken down any time soon. No AP damage output for IPT. Ornn activates his ultimate, and there you see Zac is just going to be delivering once again into the middle of the fight for TNC, and this is his clean up city. We've seen one go down. Looks like Marky and Light will not be able to get away as well. Actually, Light already activating that passive, but it seems like Hayes is trying to bring it back, but nope. The catch-up from Hayes just too dang good. And with Baron and 3 members down for IPT, this is already a possibility of game 1 push.
Yeah, there's very little that these 2 members can do. That's gonna be an Ornn and just a Morgana. No damage output for more than 10 seconds. And this is gonna be the Nexus push.
Nexus push indeed. Who's gonna get the 50 gold for the last hit? That's all the question that TNC needs right now. Actually, I think it was Demon. Anyways, game number 1 going into the hands of TNC.
Man, this is an awesome first game here for TNC, showing up on to the Rift with really ridiculous ease on these very high tempo champions. Like, I really love how they do it. It's super smooth. He's a super aggressive on this LeBlanc. And of course, this is what do you say? Resurrected LeBlanc. He's doing so much on it, and I just love the way they move around the map, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everything just went in the way of TNC. Their IPT, I think they're still kind of adjusting to how they should play out the game right now. Graves, at a certain point, you kind of want to always be aggressive with going for the counter jungle against your opponent, especially against a Zac that you can I think you can steal camps pretty early, even though there is the threat of an Irelia and a LeBlanc on the sidelines. I think they still should have tried to. And because he was a little bit too passive, I felt, on that early game, it kind of just, spiraled out of control. He never really got his items, and because of that, he never... Actually, if you think about it, there was no ganks coming out from this Graves.
Yeah. Actually, I think pinower farm niya hanggang mid-game.
Yeah.
Na wala masyadong ginagawa. I mean, yung power ni Graves, I think, is more on early game, like you said. And he didn't really fulfill that as much as he should have. I think because of that, nakawala yung Zac, nakapag-gank siya ng mas maayos to the other lanes. And I think this was from IPT trying to go for their for the paper win condition where you have to slow down the game, but I think medyo pinagala nila ng sobra.
Yeah.
And that gave TNC an opening to make so many plays around the map.
And you gotta remember that this type of playstyle, Kase, is just because you want to go for that counter jungle because you want to know where your opponents are. There is a change right now with the trinket wherein it has from 60 seconds duration to 90 seconds, but the cooldown or the refresh time on that is much longer. So being able to spot out where your jungler is, knowing, especially against a Zac who has an elastic slingshot, that just gives him so much control over his ganking routes, is insane. And again, 8.10, you don't really know the timings exactly of when these ganks are coming out, so you have to know where the opposing jungler is, so yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the power of TNC, again, came from map control as well. This game was all about map control. The way Icarus was just left on the top lane and basically light rotating there right after he lost the bot, and also losing to Icarus on the top. I think that also made a lot of impact.
Yeah. Pretty much, I feel just a clean game for TNC. Not really much IPT could have done there. But again, like I said, this is a best of 5. We'll still see what happens in game number 2 as we give you more action here at Bacchus Nexus Cup 2018 Upper Bracket Finals. My name is Asarai. Here with me is
Rockhart, and we will see you in a bit. Don't touch that browser.